"We are at the stage of large-scale, positive changes," Putin blurted out to the representatives of the fascist business and almost believed this lie himself. The Kremlin held its breath, betting on the visit of Comrade Xi, who is perceived as the last hope for salvation. This Chinese savior should come between March 20th and 22nd and bring solace to the bold special soul. China's task is to make the most of the protracted war. The unconditional victory of Ukraine is not beneficial for China, and in case of its inevitability, I would like to participate in the process as a peacemaker. The strengthening of the positions of the US and NATO in Ukraine also worries the Chinese commies. A weak balalaika is, of course, good, but this criminal monkey should not die. As long as she makes scary faces at the West and keeps him on his toes, she's a useful idiot. And in Laptestan itself, something burns and explodes every day. The day before, the FSB border guard building in Rostov was blazing brightly, dragging as many as 4 FSB officers into the Kobzon area. But this, of course, is nothing in comparison with the everyday losses of the cannibal near Bakhmut, which exceeded 30,000 organisms. With such an intensity of roasting, the military registration and enlistment offices again joined the mobilization process. True, in the shadow mode, the Kremlin does not want to infuriate the population and pretends that there is no mobilization, classifying any action of state structures. By the way, the mobilization resource is not infinite. According to Wikipedia, about 40 million people live beyond the Urals, but during his visit to Ulan-Ude, Putin blabbed that there are actually only 12 million living souls beyond the Urals. And this figure is similar to the truth. If this is so, then all official statistics must be divided by at least 3, and it turns out that not 140 million, but about 50 million live in Russia. Moreover, with a tendency to extinction. And this is a completely different picture of cave prosperity. In general, Putin this week blabbed on a voluminous quote book for the mentally retarded. It turns out that the war gave impetus to the development of the regions, and in the West, turnip stocks were depleted. And it's time for every propagandist to memorize the proverb about the girl chorus, so that they correspond to the intellectual level of the leader. By the way, Medvedev broke into the international level of terrorism by ordering the liquidation of the Italian Minister of Defense. This monstrous little baby has long been trying to scare the politicians of the West, and they bulge, twist their fingers to their temples, but are not afraid. So the United States somehow deceptively mildly reacted to the down drone. This incident over the Black Sea could well have become a belly incident, but Washington decided to give the kid a chance either to rethink his line of behavior, or to dare again, and for sure. And the nuclear demon immediately took advantage of this, overeating gruel Borzianka and belching in his cart. The Americans are completely insane. And to stand on ceremony with them is wrong, especially against the backdrop of statements by American bastards like Senator Graham that it is necessary to shoot down Russian planes. By the way, aviation accidents sometimes happen with such creatures. End of quote. That is, Medvedev threatened to kill an American senator. Alco bobblehead went all in, taking a walk on the last. Feeling the approach of the finale, which may coincide with the onset of the armed forces of Ukraine, the foot-footed population turned on the alarm mode. According to the FOM, the anxiety level of Russians increased from 47% to 49% over the week, while the level of calmness fell from 48% to 45%. Sticky fear is reflected even on the Botox muzzle, whose speeches have turned into an uncontrollable stream of the boy's subconscious, blurting out everything secret and classified. By the way, this also characterizes the level of speech writers who work on the hook. It seems that no one cares about the reputation of the Supreme Commander, and he is happy to spew impromptu uncontrollably, merging himself into a sewer. The only miracle that he and all his entourage hope for is the visit of Xi Jinping. But the Kremlin's expectations may be greatly exaggerated. Comrade Xi, of course, was very frostbitten, but not to such an extent that right now he would enter into a crazy confrontation with the United States. He can pat Putlow on his Botox cheeks, and even offer security guarantees in case some of the lads flee to China, but he will not sponsor the endless prolongation of the bald head's power. For some time, yes, and then, in exchange for territory. In the meantime, Ukraine, on the eve of the offensive, is getting everything it needs for this. Polish President Andrzej Duda announced the transfer of 4 MiG-29s to Ukraine in the coming days. The Slovak government unanimously approved an international agreement on donating MiG-29s and air defense systems to Ukraine. The guys in Solovyov studio are already throwing nuclear missiles with might and main, blowing up the remnants of the brains of a hardened audience, which is beginning to suspect that the best event in their life is ahead of them. And it is inevitably coming.